Hey everybody, and welcome back to BK's Bullets. Today we're talking Spider-Man Blue by Jeph Loeb and Tim Sale. Hey everybody, and welcome back to BK's Bullets. I am Brent, your host. Today we're going to be talking about Spider-Man Blue by Jeph Loeb and Tim Sale. It was released, I think, in the early 2000s, and definitely one of the more definitive tales when you talk about that team. If you don't know, Jeph Loeb and Tim Sale have worked together pretty much exclusively on Tim Sale's part, not exactly Jeph Loeb. He's worked with other artists on other stories, Batman Hush, Ed McGuinness on Superman and Hulk, things like that. But Tim Sale really likes Jeph Loeb. There's some stories I think where he, short stories, but anything more than a couple of issues, Tim Sale, or covers, he's working with Jeph Loeb. So they started out working, I think, on Challengers of the Unknown with DC, moved over to some Halloween specials with Batman, which turned into the collected edition called Batman Haunted Night. Then you have The Long Halloween, Dark Victory, and then at some point they've jumped over to Marvel and started doing these color books, as they call them. I can't remember which one was first, but Spider-Man Blue is one of them. You have Hulk Gray. Captain America White is the most recent one. And Daredevil Yellow is one of them as well. Speaking of Daredevil, we just did him the last episode. And some of them are good, some of them are okay. I think this one is the best one that I've read so far. I think I have read most of them. I don't think I finished Captain America White, though. But Spider-Man Blue definitely evokes the feeling of that color. When people say, are you blue or I'm blue, you feel like kind of depressed or melancholy, or maybe you're just remembering things in the past. This book definitely evokes that theme throughout the entire thing. So it is a definite must read, I think. It has got great art, it's got great storytelling, and what I really liked about it is that Jeph Loeb, I don't know what came first, whether it was the story or the color or, however that worked, but it definitely all kind of fits together in a great way. And Jeph Loeb just kind of narrows in on one part of Spider-Man's life where he's going to college, he's fighting the Green Goblin. It's before he met Mary Jane. She comes in a little bit later on. It's before he started dating Gwen Stacy. They get together later on in the book, but it's that whole period of like before he really started dating these women to just after, and he frames it in a way that is really sad and really blue. You know what I mean? So I really like the story there, but it's a great little arc with the Green Goblin and some other classic Spider-Man villains drawn by Tim Sale. Tim Sale, I think he's just fantastic. I also think he's one of those guys where you either love him or you hate him. If you have not seen any Tim Sale art in comics, you might have seen him on Heroes. On season 1 of Heroes, the painter Isaac. All of those paintings, Heroes was executive produced by Jeph Loeb, if you didn't know that. Anyway, he got his friend a job, and all of those paintings were produced in real life by Tim Sale. So if you like the Heroes art style from season 1, you probably will like this book. If you like Long Halloween with Batman, you will like this book. You will like Tim Sale, you will like this book. Tim Sale definitely has a unique art style. It's very angular. There are some times where people look very stretched. It's also very cartoony in the Sunday comics kind of classic fashion. It's not classical like John Romita Sr., and it's not new age flashy like Jim Lee or Rob Liefeld. So it's kind of in the middle there. But because of that cartoonishness, he's able to twist some figures and exaggerate features in some way that makes them look better or scary. His Green Goblin in here is tremendous because of that grin he's able to pull out of that, that mask and twist and enlarge in such a way and present it in a great way. Definitely really like Tim Sale's art here. One of his best in a long time, I think. I don't know what he's doing now. I wish he would do more work. I think he's doing some covers that I've seen, but as far as like sequential stuff, I think Captain America White's the last thing he was able to produce or has produced and released so far. So I would definitely welcome more work by Tim Sale. Jeph Loeb, these were his glory days. This period from like 1997 when Long Halloween came out to just after these run of color books, you know, we'll put Batman Hush in there as well. Those were the Jeph Loeb glory days. Anything else he did after that is just okay. It's not up to snuff because Jeph, I think his people looking at his work now, I feel bad for him. It's like, you know, a great actor who still works long. It's like Robert De Niro, right? Great actor, had a lot of great works back in the 70s and 80s, revered, great actor. Whereas now, anything he does now is just kind of, seems like a paycheck gig. We're talking about Robert De Niro here. And I kind of say the same thing for Jeph Loeb. Right now he's heading up Marvel Television, but his comic work in the last, 10 or so years has just not been that good. I'm sorry to say. I think because everybody's measuring it to the classic stories he's written. I mean, think about it. Long Halloween, Dark Victory, Hush is a good story. I don't know about classic, but it's definitely classic for what it did for Batman and Jim Lee. Got a Hush cover behind me on my wall. So, and you have the Marvel stuff that he did. Daredevil Yellow is great, Hulk Gray is great, Spider-Man Blue is great. So those are all great stories, and he produced them in a short amount of time, and almost, I think in a 10-year span almost. And, everything else he's going to do or will do will be measured against that. So it's kind of a shitty situation for him, but I hope he comes back into comics with his next adventure and writes something great that we can all enjoy. But definitely check out Spider-Man Blue. If you like Spider-Man, check it out. If you like Jeph Loeb, check it out. If you like Tim Sale, check it out. If you're looking to get into Spider-Man, I think it's a good primer on the kinds of stories that Spider-Man sometimes does present, at least in a classic sense. If you like classic Spider-Man, if you're reading the new Spider-Man with Dan Slott and he's got all these crazy techno gadgets and his webwear phone and wristwatch, whatever, and you're like, get me away from that. I just want to read something that's more classic. Definitely check out Spider-Man Blue. It's written in, it wasn't written in the 60s, but it takes place in that era, in that 60s era. A lot of the technology looks like that. Tim Sale definitely has a retro look to him as well that he leverages every time he draws. And so it definitely takes place in that kind of simpler, more nostalgic time. So if you're just on a nostalgia kick, check out Spider-Man Blue. I would give it 4.5 out of 5 stars. This is a really, really good book. And it's something that I think should be required reading for everybody. So check it out. Anyway, if you guys enjoyed it, let me know. If you didn't, let me know why. Please thank you for watching, or thank me for watching, thank you for watching, and like, comment, and subscribe down below, and I will see you guys in the funny pages next time.